My wife and I bought a house in northern Michigan after we had been renting a home for nearly 9 years. It was an old farmhouse with a lot of character but needed some work. The farmer who built the house in the 1940s died sometime in the 1980s. Since then, there had been 7 previous owners before us. I thought that seemed odd at first too. 7 previous owners? But I figured that maybe the other owners ran out of money to fix it up. I never asked the real estate agent about it because it seemed obvious to me since there were so many projects that were started but never finished. The kitchen looked to be under construction when we moved in, along with the garage restoration that looked to be just started as well. Anyways, we were ready to be committed to put in the time and money in order to make this our family home with our 2 children. When we started the first fix-up project, the wood staircase to the 2nd floor, strange things began to happen. Strange things that had no logical explanation. It was late afternoon and time for dinner. My wife, who had been planting flowers next to the house, stood up and took off her gardening gloves and started walking around the house to let our children know that it was time to eat. She spotted the children walking to a patch of woods that sits surrounded by the farm field. She yelled out to the children and they turned their heads and came running for dinner. Our children, Nick and Sam, are 10-year-old twins. During dinner, I made a comment to my wife that Nick and Sam are going to be explorers when they grow up because of their curiosity of the wooded patch in the farm field. My wife asked the children in her pirate voice, "Were you looking for buried treasure?" Our son Nick replied, "You called us out there, Mommy." Lowering her fork from her mouth, tapping down onto her plate, my wife said, "Whatever do you mean?" Sam then says, "You were standing out there waving at us to come out." My wife told the children to never go out there again, not even if she was out there, and she made them promise. Later, while my wife and I were clearing the dinner table, taking the plates to the kitchen, she said to me in a shaking voice, "I wasn't out at that patch of woods. John, I've never been out there." There I was, in the cabinet under the kitchen sink, fixing a leak. I could hear my wife walking around the kitchen, opening and closing the cupboards, putting things away. I asked her if she could hand me the wrench from on top of the counter, as I held out my hand from under the sink. I heard her stop opening and closing the cupboards to hand me the wrench. So while I'm waiting for her to hand me the wrench, I got a little impatient and sarcastically said to her, "Sometime today, please." She missed my hand with the pipe wrench and it dropped on my leg. I shouted, "Ouch! Can you be a little bit more careful?" When I finished and crawled out from under the sink, about 20 minutes later, my wife walked in and set her purse and the car keys down on the table and excitingly asked, "Is it all fixed?" I replied while touching my leg, "Yeah, but my leg still hurts from you dropping the wrench on me." She then said to me, "The kids and I just got back from Grandma's house. We've been gone all afternoon." It all came to a head one night when the kids came running into our bedroom claiming they had seen an old man walking in the room, and then he flew out the window. I could tell they weren't playing games because they were shaking scared. I immediately instructed everyone to get in the car, telling them that we had to leave and leave right now. I knew it was time. We all hurried to the car and drove away. I now know why there were so many unfinished projects in the house.